Today I'm talking about my second trimester. I am currently 34 weeks, so I'm in my third trimester. I have about 6 weeks left. Cannot wait for this to be over. So I wanted to just share my second trimester experiences and things that I did, how I was feeling, symptoms, things like that. We'll actually start with symptoms. Something kind of funny that I hope stays after pregnancy is I noticed that I don't think I really got any facial swelling. Maybe I did, if people who haven't seen me in a while might notice, but myself personally, I haven't noticed, but I do the gua sha. I don't think I'm saying it right. Every day. I've been doing that since before pregnancy. But anyway, I feel like my upper lip has gotten a little bigger, and I can kind of notice, I don't know if it's just like, maybe I do have some swelling in my cheeks, but I notice when I speak, not that I have like a speech impediment now, but I notice that when I speak, it's just like there's something hindering me, like there's something going on that's getting in my way of sounding like I did pre-pregnancy. But I did notice that my upper lip has gotten a little bigger, which I'm not mad at. I kind of hope that stays. If it doesn't, whatever. I'll enjoy it while I have it. It's funny, my husband and I were watching Succession, the final season where, what's her name? The sister, I forget her name, but she is pregnant in the storyline. And I was like, I feel like she's pregnant in real life. I've never Googled this actress, don't know anything about her other than Succession. And in the final season, they're in the Bahamas, or I don't know, they're at some house in the Caribbean, and she was talking. I was like, the way that she's speaking sounds different than earlier in the show, and that's how I feel like I sound now. And I could just look at her and tell, and her just something about her face. I was like, I think she's actually pregnant in real life. I don't know if they wrote it in the storyline because she was actually pregnant or what, but I was like, I feel like she's actually pregnant, and lo and behold, I Googled it and she had just given birth or something about it. She was also speaking as if it was difficult and hard to breathe, and I was like, yeah, I know my people. They say the second trimester is, the best one, and you feel great, and you get your energy back, and there's no nausea, and blah blah blah. Obviously every woman is different, and so I just kind of went into it hoping for the best, prepared for nothing to change, and dreading if it got worse. So it took a while for me to kind of feel that honeymoon phase, I guess. About halfway through the second trimester, I started to feel less uncomfortable. The nausea was still present at the beginning of my second trimester, and I had constipation again when I very, very similar to very, very early in the first trimester. I started adding magnesium drops in milk, a glass of milk, magnesium drop, and some honey and collagen, and drink that. And then I also started drinking coconut water in addition to water. And I don't think I ever had a day where I didn't go, but it definitely was strained, and they were small, and sometimes it was just one a day, which to me is not ideal. So I never got crazy at it. I've had a toothache on this side, on and off, and I don't know if it's gum sensitivity because it feels like more than one tooth is affected when I do get it. Sometimes the pain will feel like it's near this tooth, and sometimes it'll feel closer to this one or this one. So I don't know. I'm definitely not afraid, but the last time I went to the dentist, they literally took a needle and were stabbing me in the gums the whole time, and I literally told them to stop, got out of the chair. I was like, I can't do this. What is the point of this? Yeah, I haven't gone to get it checked out. I don't think it's a cavity. I'm not sure if it's just, the extra blood rushing to your gums during pregnancy or what, but I told myself, unless it gets crazy out of control, I'm just gonna deal with it. It hurts so bad to sit on your butt, even on a soft surface. So like self-care, body care, at this point I was feeling pretty good. I was lifting weights here at home. We have machines. I was still doing like back workouts, arm workouts, you know, like rows, pull downs, lats, the whole thing. I would do that twice a week, and then I would do Pilates on like Wednesdays and Fridays, prenatal classes, but I also took the regular Pilates classes. Prenatal and the regular aren't that much different. They also give you the backrest to put behind you so that you're at sort of an incline, which helps. I still have some SI joint pain, so sometimes even though being on that incline is better than being flat on your back, because the pain for me is lower in my pelvis, sometimes being on the reformer does irritate a little bit. But I also started to see a chiropractor for my SI joint pain, and it's been going pretty good. During my second trimester, it did get pretty bad to the point where sometimes it would just be really inflamed and really tight, and even stepping, it's on my right hand side, even stepping on my right leg would cause kind of like a shooting pain up into my rear lower pelvis. But it hasn't been that bad since then. I always feel better after an adjustment. Honestly, I think it's our mattress. I also changed the way that I'm using the pregnancy pillow, because I think that my hips just weren't supported in a way, or because it's on my right pelvis and they want you to sleep on your left. I think that there was just too much weight, uneven weight dispersed on either side of my hip. Anyway, so I changed that. It's a little bit better. What's funny is, and I'll talk about this in my third trimester video, my husband and I had our 1-year anniversary and took a baby moon, and we went to France. And while we were there, in the mornings I'd wake up and I would be pretty sore. I didn't bring my pregnancy pillow because how can you fit that? But I would put a pillow between my knees, and when we were walking around, like catching the transit, like doing everything, it wasn't bad at all. It was kind of gone. And then now that we're back here, back home, it's back again. So still investigating that, still getting adjustments. So if you guys are dealing with that, I suggest seeing a chiropractor. If you don't have access to a chiropractor, what I was doing before was laying on a tennis ball and rolling it, laying on the ground with a tennis ball underneath your pelvis and just kind of massaging it. I have one of those Theragun things that I would use to do it, and just stretching every day, trying to walk as much as you can to kind of not let it get too tight. It's still there, but it's manageable. I also started acupuncture around 25 weeks because I've had chronic postnasal drip pre-pregnancy for years, and I think it stemmed from when I went vegan for a while, and it just kind of messed me up, and I haven't been able to figure out how to deal with it. I was taking oil of oregano, like different tinctures and things, and that didn't do anything. I saw an ENT at one point after I went to a doctor for being sick for something else, and wanted them to, or they told me that I had a deviated septum. So I was like, cool, at least I have been diagnosed like that. That's an outpatient surgery. I was down to just get it and just be done with it because it's so irritating. But the ENT examined me and said that I don't have a deviated septum. So I was like, and he prescribed me like fluticasone or something like that, just like a nasal spray. It didn't do anything. So now I'm trying acupuncture. I started around 25 weeks. I'm still doing it. I'm gonna do it up until the baby is here. It would be so nice to be rid of this because it kind of triggers nausea. It just feels gross. It's always there. I'm always thinking about it. It makes like eating certain things uncomfortable. It's obviously uncomfortable having to like blow your nose all the time. And you know, now I'm able to kind of like cough some stuff out, but it's still clear. So I take that as a sign that something's happening, because before I wasn't really like hawking loogies. I was just blowing my nose. I'm hoping praying that this works, because it would be like a dream come true to not have to deal with this anymore. Body wise, the second trimester is definitely like one of the best things about it, I guess, is your bump starts to come in, and depending on your height, what number of baby it is, the size of your torso, your bump is either starting to look like a bump, or it's some people they have small bumps and it's hard to tell that they're pregnant, but mine started to round out. I have a short torso, so I feel I was pretty confident that my bump was gonna look like a bump, and it does. So that's nice. In the second trimester, your bump is like cute, it's small, it's coming in, you're excited, you start to really feel pregnant, and it's still manageable. You're sleeping on your side, you can take walks, you can work out, like it's there, but it's not in your way like it is right now in the third trimester. It's like a cute little bump, and then in the third trimester it's like a big bump, like I'm Pregzilla, like that. Or that's how I feel. So I feel like body wise, I felt the best. Like I still could get around and move around like how I was pre-pregnancy, but still feeling pregnant and enjoying the fun in that. So that was a nice experience during the second trimester. Also, I'm pretty sure, sorry, I remember my husband felt the baby kick with his hands around 16 weeks. That's second trimester, right? In the second trimester, you know, the movements are increasing. Mostly felt like in the beginning it was like little, like, and there were some kicks in there. Now that the movements feel different, as I'm in my third trimester, it makes sense that the kicks are feeling a little stronger because the baby has more room to kind of like do its thing. And whereas now the baby's bigger and it mostly feels like rolls or slides or scrapes. Scrape sounds pretty awful, sorry, but just like you know, like they're moving and they're kind of cramped, so you feel them adjusting versus like a kick, if that makes sense. Oh, another thing that was really uncomfortable during the second trimester was I had very, very sore ribs. And at first I was freaking out. I was like, I remember being on a flight, I don't remember which trimester, first or second, and I was wearing a bra. And my ribs after I got off the flight were so sore, mainly on the right side. So I thought, oh, it's the bra, it's too tight. And that's what I attributed it to. Then it would kind of come and go whether or not I was wearing a bra, and then I kind of started, you know, go down the WebMD rabbit hole and whatnot. I was like, oh my god, I have bone cancer. What's going on? And then in the second trimester it got really bad to the point where clearly it wasn't the bra, and I would put like a heating pad on it. Even massaging it didn't do anything. It's just like a burning sensation on your ribs. And I was researching it, and they say your body starts producing a hormone called relaxin, which starts to relax like your joints and your muscles, I believe. Basically, what was happening is my ribs were expanding to make room for my growing uterus. So yeah, that was pretty rough. It was kind of kept me in the bed and away from certain like social activities at times. By the time I was in my third trimester, it was just a distant memory. I can't remember exactly when I stopped feeling it, but yeah, I haven't had anything like that in my third trimester. Using a heating pad helped. I think I would like put the heating pad on. If it was hot, I would just take the tie off my robe and tie the heating pad on me, so I was kind of like mobile, except you're plugged in. And then if it was warm, obviously I would put the heating pad underneath and then put the robe on and then tie it so that the heating pad stays in place. So I did notice my first stretch mark. And you know, it was funny, at one point I was looking at my belly and I think I had woken up from a nap, so like the sheets had left imprints and I thought that they were stretch marks. I was like, oh, what can you do? But then like the next day they weren't there. But I did notice like a stretch mark like on my left boob randomly. Like I don't even feel like my boobs like grew that much. And it's like here, which is a little weird. I don't know where stretch marks on boobs normally are, but there's like 2 or 3 of them and they're like this long. They're not that dark. I mean, what can you do? And it's just on one. My linea negra, it was lineaing. It got really dark, started to fill in, and it also, I don't know if you can see now, but it has like a little T here, a little detour. Actually now in the 3rd trimester, I keep like skipping ahead, but it's lightening, which in the 2nd trimester was a lot darker. So I don't know what that means. For activity, I actually, on my birthday, I went to Burke Williams, spent a whole work shift there. Did the hot tub, which I know it can be controversial. Your body, you're not gonna cook the baby. It would take a lot for the inside temperature of your body to start to rise. So I was in and out of the hot tub. I did a prenatal massage. I did one of the water treatments where they scrub you down. They modified it for me. They had me on my side for the massage and for the wet room treatment. If you're pregnant and you want to go to Burke Williams and you're paying for a service, another service, they throw in a complimentary bath. It's like an herbal bath. They give you like fruit. It's like a 20-minute thing and you just kind of like soak. Oh, and then I got a pedicure as well, which I had a pedicure. I had her do French tips on my toes, and my birthday was at the beginning of April. Those literally did not scratch or crack. They barely started yellowing, wasn't even gel. I literally had that pedicure through the rest of my 2nd trimester, through all of our trip in France, past like 32 weeks. Like I just finally cut my nails. And I don't think I'm gonna get them done before the birth or anything. I don't really care. So yeah, that was probably the best pedicure I've ever had in my life. I also took a 3-hour flight at about 26 weeks. And I didn't know that it was a thing that your feet swell. So when I got later that day, when I got home or when I got to my destination, I noticed that my feet were swollen. My grandma got me some compression socks. I soaked my feet in ice water and kind of stayed off my feet. And yeah, they went back to normal. I'm gonna say in like 30 hours or so. I also started working on our registry. We took like photos, announcement photos with our dogs. And last thing that I'll talk about is food. So like I said, I still had nausea in the first couple weeks of my 2nd trimester. But once that abated, I was in a nice groove where I was able to have coffee every morning, have my normal breakfast. I would have my eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, mashed avocado with hot sauce and some like sea salt. So delicious. Looked forward to that every morning. And I would say like my appetite, like I've never been like super ravenous. Only time I remember being ravenous was literally like right around the time of conception, where I literally stayed up till like 1 a.m. just like eating like anything I could get my hands on. And I thought I kind of wanted to feel like that for this pregnancy. Just yeah, Taurus rising. I love like stuffing my face sometimes, and I haven't been able to do that like I want to really in any trimester. Maybe later in my 3rd I'll get that experience, but yeah. So but I would say my appetite was at like about an 80%. Like it was pretty normal. I could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll talk about it in my 3rd trimester video, but right now it's very touchy. It's very touch and go. I have to stop eating at like 6. Like my dinner time where I try to have like my biggest meals is between like 1 and 4. And anything after that kind of has me in a bind, like trying the rest of the night and then trying to sleep. So, so yeah, in the 2nd trimester, it wasn't too bad at certain points, but I did have a lot of bloating, which was uncomfortable. The post nasal drip curbed my appetite a lot of times because just eating certain textures of foods kind of irritated it and just felt yucky. That's pretty much it. Those are my second trimester experiences. It's really like time, not that it's flown by, but it's just wild to think that there's only about 6 weeks left, and thinking about all the ups and downs and what it took to get here. I'm just so excited to not be pregnant anymore. People that love being pregnant, more power to you. I'm really curious as to what you love. I just can't wait to feel, and I know that there's a whole transition and adjustment period after the birth, but I just can't wait to feel, you know, normal again, and just be able to do little things that I so took for granted pre-pregnancy, that I will absolutely relish, and even bending over without having to do like a plie to pick up something, or just a feeling of dread when you drop something knowing that you're gonna have to bend over to get it. We're excited. We're so thankful that we made it this far, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyone else that is around the same, you know, gestation as me, best of luck to you. People who are watching this and they're in their first trimester, hang in there. All pregnant ladies, just keep doing your thing and try to, you know, enjoy what you can. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.